The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
Hello again, Lobo fans. Welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Rob Portnoy, with men's basketball coach at UNM, Richard Pitino. Coach Pitino, 2 games to talk about. Great to be with you. The Lobos got their first conference win against San José State. That was nice for the guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a understanding of where the process is at. Not to mention when you're kind of starting over like we were, but then no Valdir, Jethro, E-Man, Saquon's missed some games. It becomes increasingly hard when you're rebuilding and you're undermanned. So to be able to get a win versus San Jose was great. I mean, it's a nice reward for them, but we're really trying hard not to make it about wins and losses, but we certainly understand that. So great for our players, great for our fans. You know, they're so loyal. But I think we understand that when you play a San Diego State, that's what a championship type program looks like. And we got a lot of work to do to get there.
So many of the first 7 games in league play were close games. And I think that's another reason why it was so nice to see the Lobos get a win over San Jose State. It's because they had so many chances through the first 7 games of the conference schedule.
Yeah, and you know, for the most part, we've competed and played hard and you know, been somewhat close. We're still struggling with the physical rock fight games. Those are really hard for us right now to win. But, you know, to kind of keep your spirit is what I've really liked about this team. And they've not wavered with coming to work every single day and practicing hard and playing with enthusiasm and playing for each other. So, you know, happy to get San Jose. And because both teams, I mean, are kind of in the same stages. So to break through was great.
Yeah, very different. 2 teams the Lobos played that we'll talk about in this show, San Jose State and the Lobos at the beginning of a rebuild under new head coaches. San Diego State, they're in a very different place, aren't they?
As I've said before, like, I really believe in this place in New Mexico. I think it's got so many attractive qualities about it. It's got just an amazing arena, a terrific fan base. You've got beautiful weather. You got a really cool city in Albuquerque. We haven't had any stability in this program whatsoever, and really even in the department. And now that Eddie's been here for a little bit longer, that's great because he's a terrific leader. But what you really need is you need football and basketball to have some stability. They just go hand in hand with everything. San Diego State has had that. You know, Steve Fisher's there a long time, and I was kind of looking at his record the first couple of years. Wasn't real great at San Diego State. It just takes time, and then all of a sudden he hands over the reins to Brian Dutcher. They've had continuity on the staff. So that's the key is, like, for me, we want to build sustainable success. Well, certainly players does that. Will do that. But also your staff, also the buy-in from everybody in the department, all those things really work hand in hand. And an understanding of where you're at. You know, so San Diego State they look different right now than we do. That's the bottom line, and we're striving to get to that. We're really far away from that right now.
Speaking of work in the gym, work in the weight room, one of the things that they look different, one of the ways they look different, is the fact that they're just so much bigger, they're so much stronger, and that's something that you'll look at in recruiting.
Something in recruiting as well. Now, we are the youngest team in the league, and when you take off the size of Valdir and Jethro and the, you know, E-Man was probably your pound-for-pound best athlete. You take him off. We're just not real big and strong. We're just not. And the guys that aren't strong need to get stronger. And a lot of them have the potential. Obviously, Barima's body will look much different as we move forward. J. Allen Tovar's needs to look different. Sebastian's needs to look different. Taron Todd needs to change. I think if you look at our team, there's Mash and KJ are probably your most physical players, and that's why they play well in games like that. The rest of them just with time. But my biggest thing to them is, we brought you here, we believe in you, but the bottom line is what you eat, how you lift. Why does LeBron spend millions of dollars on his body? That commitment level, it's going to help you be ready for a game like that in the future.
All right, we're ready for our first time out. When we come back on the other side, we look at tape. The Lobos and San Jose State, New Mexico's first conference win, is next.
The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with the men's basketball coach at New Mexico, Richard Pitino. Coach Pitino, we're going to look at tape of the Lobos in San Jose State. Before we do that, I wanted to ask you this because you really had played the upper crust of the conference to start the year. Through 7 games, you're playing these teams that are all top 50 teams in the net. Now you have a game against San Jose State, a team like you, at home, a game that you feel like you can and even should win. The preparation, I'm sure, was a little bit different, especially between the ears in terms of making sure that the Lobos were focused?
Not really. Honestly, I try very hard as a coach. There's so many external factors in today's world, whether social media and just, we overhype everything. And that's everywhere. That's in every sport. So as a coach, I just try to stay really, really grounded and not make, even yesterday's or the San Diego State performance, we didn't play well, we move on. We learn from it, or we beat it San Jose State. Okay, here's where we can get better at. So I try really, really hard. I mean, I got a great piece of advice from Chris Peterson, the old Boise State coach, and talked about there's 2 types of scoreboards that you can live by in sports. And if you're constantly living by what fans and media live by, you're not going to be doing it the right way. That's not to say fans and media are wrong. That's not the point. But we just try to get better every single day. And whatever's presented in front of us, we try to approach it with that. We don't have an ego. We won 6 games last year. It's not like we've been setting the world on fire here by any means. This is a process going to be built from the ground up. And one of the things you have to do with obviously recruiting and developing talent is you got to have the right mindset in your program to understand that every game means the same. And so I did like our approach with the San Jose State game. I thought we were ready to go, and I even thought we were ready to go versus San Diego State. They're just bigger and stronger than we are. So one game at a time mentality and one day at a time just to get better every single day.
Now the Lobos were ready to go against San Jose State. Let's get to the highlights of the Lobos and the Spartans in the pit. You guys scored the first 9 points of the game right out of the gate, Coach.
Yeah, and I think we were ready to go. We still, from an offensive standpoint, have had good moments, but what we just don't have great moments on is defense and rebounding the ball and toughness. That's where we got to get a lot better. But, certain matchups where we're able to do what we want offensively, some good things can happen.
You saw Mashburn there in the mid-range. He was so efficient in this game. 23 points on 9 of 12 floor shooting.
Yeah, he's able to get to that mid-range spot. Obviously terrific.
Jalen House, incredible in this game with the 18 points and 13 assists. There's a dime to the big fella Forsling.
Yeah, kind of poor defense more so than good offense, but it's a simple ball screen and roll. And I think as Sebastian gets bigger and stronger, he'll be able to, execute that a little bit better. That's a set play out of a timeout that we ran to get the back door, which was good execution.
Backdoor cut for House and a lay-in. And Jay Allen Tovar, I feel like he's finding his game offensively here over the last few weeks.
A little bit. He still needs to be more diverse than just 3-point shooting, and I think that's going to come with strength. But he's 6'8" and he's young, so it's something where he'll grow and evolve.
Mashburn also hit 3 of 5 from distance. Nice to see Saquon Singleton get his first minutes off of that toe injury after sitting out 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's got size. He's just we got to find a way to help him get some points. But that length certainly helps.
We've talked a lot about Jalen House and the way that he runs the team. There's KJ Jenkins with the 3 from the wing. Such a terrific shooter. But what about House and the floor generalship and how he performed in this game?
Well, it was good in this game. I think what he's got to get better at is doing it under duress. San Jose is kind of like us. They're just trying to rebuild the roster and get bigger and stronger and certainly more talented. But, the House is good when we can kind of dictate the terms. Where we got to get better is when teams try to muck it up. He's got to do a better job there.
Get a look at some halftime statistics here. The Lobos up by 11 and now second half action. And San Jose State kind of hung around a little bit.
Yeah, again, it's neither one of our programs are at a stage where we're just going to be blowing teams out. We played with decent poise in the second half. Sebastian, obviously that's a welcome sight to be able to get something around the rim, and we're going to continue to work with him on it. I mean, his best days are ahead of him for sure.
Nice to see your team out-rebound somebody, anybody. Have a good game on the glass. You win that battle by 15 over the Spartans.
Yeah, I think there was a good effort. I also think San Jose is maybe the one team we might be a little bit bigger than, quite frankly. So good job there. I mean, the rebounding's been a little bit better as of late.
KJ Jenkins with a corner three, and there's what we've talked about a bunch, right, Coach? The extra pass up a good shot, get a great shot, and bury a corner triple.
Yeah, a little overload against a zone. This is something where Alan Tovar is just way too casual on the ball reversal. Got to be better there.
Nice setup by House to Tovar for the dunk, and you were able to get out and do things a little bit with your early offense in this game, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to. I mean, I think the way they were guarding pick and rolls, we had to be able to get to the rim and dump off. I look at again, I mean, just our fans showing up, so great, so appreciative. That's a shot, honestly, I don't love from House. Even the NBA players, the best players in the world, don't want that shot. So he can hit it, but we don't want to fall in love with that. This is good. We want more catch and shoot threes from the paint. Get a paint touch, kick it out.
It's been tough for the Lobos to get paint touches. Why is that?
Your two really good options are Mash and House, and if they're not getting in there, Javante's not totally comfortable with it right now, and KJ's not great at it either. But we got to be able to just right in there and then get something out of it.
Beautiful little 3-on-2 fast break that you run right there. And those guys, the roommates, Jalen House and Alan Tovar, they seem to have pretty good chemistry on that lob.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that Jay's pretty good at, is catching lobs behind the, he missed the one at the end of the first half, but House can find him. Jay's got great potential. He's got his offseason, he needs to learn from this year and really take a lot from it and just live in the gym.
5 different players in double figures in this game. Really good balanced scoring for your team. That's
the goal, is 5 options at all times, okay? If a ball screen and you roll and you throw back, and can you go inside? So as we develop the roster, we want balance. We don't want 16 and 15 points a game and the next is 9. We want 12 points, 11 points, 10 points, 10 points, 8 points. Work in progress, but very good performance, San Jose State.
Coming out of the San Jose State game, Jalen House, over a 5-game stretch, was averaging over 7 assists per game. How is he doing it?
Well, we keep talking about getting other shots, and I think he's evolving there. And guys are hitting shots. When we've been good, we're making shots. When we're not good, we're just not hitting shots, and that's because we can't really throw it inside just yet. But the guys are ready to shoot. House is a really good passer. He's doing a good job of getting in the lane and finding guys.
Okay, time for us to get to a break. We come back on the other side with the Lobos in Viejas Arena against San Diego State.
The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
We're back with Lobo men's basketball coach Richard Pitino on your Lobo Coaches Show. It's time now to take a peek of highlights of the Lobos and San Diego State at Viejas Arena in America's finest city. So how did your team get this one started, Coach? And you know what? They get an offensive rebound early, San Diego State, and get a putback. But I thought you guys were tough here in the first 4-minute segment.
Yeah, we settled in with the rebounding part of it. I just think we wore down as the game went on, quite frankly. I mean, we were pretty good the first couple minutes. Mash was really, really good at attacking on those switches. Right there, I don't love that shot, but great that Sebastian would get the offensive rebound.
Lobos get a tip in, and in terms of early in the game, the way you guard it, I know they're tough and they're big and they're strong, but they didn't go crazy offensively here in the first half.
No, not bad. I mean, this is a good kind of drive and kick, which we really talk about doing because they really load up to the ball, and that one more pass that was really worked on. But just right there, a better sense of awareness from Mash.
How about the way that you guys defended Matt Bradley? Obviously, he's the sort of the guy that stirs the drink for them, their best player.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I think they hurt us in transition. If you see just those two shooters over length with KJ and Mash, that's as we get bigger and stronger. I think we'll have better coverage on that. And it's just, they like we said before, San Diego State looks a little bit different. I mean, they're just really big.
And we saw a lot of that, where your guards get into the paint. It's either the on-ball defender, the help side defender. Somebody's getting a hand on the ball for San Diego State. They're just so long. Yeah,
I mean, and we lost some shot blocking, obviously, throughout the year with E-Man and with Jethro. And that's where length really can make up for a lot of things. Our transition defense, especially on live ball turnovers, was really poor. We weren't getting set by any means.
The 20 turnovers, I know that's a number you'd like to see come down.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's give them credit. They had a lot to do with it, but we just got to be tougher.
And still, you're hanging tough right here midway through. That's a terrific half-court pass right there for a lob dunk.
And very poor transition defense. I mean, just not sprinting back and getting set.
Tough for you guys to guard down here on the block with so many bigs no longer with the program or out because of injury.
Very difficult, very challenging. But even right here, this live ball turnover leads to a dunk for them. Very similar to UNLV at their place. They started turning them over and letting the building get going a little bit. And fast break points 15-0, just very, very challenging.
And the 32% field goal shooting for the first half, testament to the Aztecs' defense, or things you could have done better as well?
A little bit of both. They're a terrific defensive team. Right here, I mean, Sebastian's got to score that basketball. It's a nice kick out, but he's right by the rim. He's 7 feet tall. He's got to go score it.
But you do get one of those inside-out, paint touches set up for an open three, and Jalen House is able to knock it down.
Yep, no doubt. I mean, it's a good paint touch kick out. Javante just there, that's one-on-one. He needs to find a way to get a stop. J. Allen Tovar right there gets blown by. You have to be able to take ownership and guard the ball, something that San Diego State does very, very well.
You guys were down 14 at the break. They scored the first 7 of the second half. That was probably the most damaging run up to that point in the game, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, we just, they kind of jumped us, and we found it very, very difficult just with their size and physicality to get any type of rhythm. KJ hits shots, which is great, and that makes up for a lot. It's just have the ability to make shots is huge.
Thought it was interesting what you said about KJ Jenkins and Jamal Mashburn in terms of just their physical maturity and the two of the bigger, tougher guys at their positions being able to hang physically in a game like this.
For sure. I mean, it's evident. They're bigger bodies, and that matters. And as we build it, not only we got to be bigger, we got to be taller, but it's a good attack by KJ to take the contact.
A first-year Division I player, Coach, KJ, who's come through D2 and JC, to be one of your leaders and a captain. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's had a terrific story. I think I need to find more minutes for him, quite frankly. He's very, very productive. He's competitive. He doesn't mind physicality. Good drive by Taryn Todd. He's got to get going. He does have talent. It's been a little bit challenging to figure out kind of with Saquon and him who needs to be that guy, but he's got to get going for sure.
And I think that's his best ability right there. Taryn Todd's best ability is the slashing. He's good at getting to the rim.
He is. I mean, and the game is hard if you can't knock down perimeter shots, so you have to be able to drive, and Taryn is good at that.
16 points and 9 rebounds for KJ Jenkins in a game like this. To be his size and be your leading rebounder, that's a testament to his want to as well, isn't it?
Yeah, toughness. And as we said before, we've got to be tougher as a team. And I think Mashburn and KJ are very, very tough. And their bodies have a lot to do with it. I'm not trying to say that all of our players are soft. I mean, I think a lot of these guys will get tougher as their strength builds. But KJ was ready to go for sure. And I need to find ways to get him on the court more because he's been very productive.
One last thought on this game. How was San Diego State able to take Jalen House out of his game? Because the turnovers, especially in the first half, it was a tough night for him.
Physicality, yeah. I mean, House has got to find a way you can't avoid contact. You have to embrace the physicality of the game, and House is small, but if you're going to be small, you have to be physical. And in a game like that, he just was not, and I think that's why he had so many turnovers.
All right, a couple of things when we come back after the break. We set you up for the Lobos at Air Force Academy on Saturday, and the Lobos have added a game to their schedule, a postponement from earlier in the year. We'll tell you when that one is set up next.
The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Toyota. Let's go places.
We're back to wrap up your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm Robert Portnoy with Lobo men's basketball coach Richard Pitino. And the Lobos have added a game to their schedule, the Mountain West, and they've set up New Mexico and Colorado State to make up the postponed conference opener in the Pit. It'll be on February 17th at 7 p.m. In the legendary Pit. Coach Pitino, that's a great game to get back on the schedule.
Yeah, obviously, Colorado State, San Diego State's probably your best crowd, so as much as I don't want to see them again, it's always great to have a filled Pit. So disappointing that one wasn't rescheduled. I don't know all the details on that. What we're trying to figure out now is, can we add something, to get our guys some game experience. We don't need 10 days off again. As I've said a million times, we need to rebuild our program with everything that we do, but we also need to get our fan base back. And marquee games in the Pit is where you can get some enthusiasm and energy. So disappointed to be down a home game in the conference, but happy to be able to play Colorado State. Okay,
and you've got Saturday coming up at the Air Force Academy, the Lobos and the Falcons in Colorado.
Very, very difficult game. They're tough, they're experienced, they have a culture, they have a system. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us.
Coach Pitino, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
For Chase Christensen and Steve Kirkland, that's Coach Pitino. I'm Robert Portnoy. Till next time, so long everybody, and go Lobos.